We're live, yeah, people. Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Please do not forget to hit the like button. As I just stated, I hope you're all doing well and safe. And as you guys already know, I can't imagine you don't know already. It's Arsenal versus Burnley, Burnley versus Arsenal. The preview, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Please make sure you're also hitting the like button, better yet, on my next live stream. It should be pinned to, it should be a pinned message. It should be pinned to the live chat that you lot are all looking in. That's in relation to my watch along for tomorrow. Arsenal versus Burnley will be live from around 6ish, and then obviously we'll be going all through the game and I'll be commenting live. You know, you also get another live stream in relation to the reaction of the game, so please make sure you're aware. Pardon me, I'm very aware that, you know, how do I make it make sense? YouTube is doing you guys dirty a lot. You know, you're setting reminders and you're still not being notified. So I really apologize. The only thing I can say is just get on top of it. Just make sure you keep browsing. I hope you're well and safe. And like I said, please hit the like button, people. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. What are you guys saying? Dark Angel Shadow is saying 1-0 Burnley, easy. I don't know if you're an Arsenal fan or not, but even if you are an Arsenal fan or if you're just a fan of football in general that's been monitoring the Premier League, I don't think you can say it's easy between the two teams, but it wouldn't shock me if Burnley turn around and beat us because of how we're playing. We can't buy a win. We're woeful. You know, both teams would bite each other's hands off for 3 points. You know, there's pressure on Sean Dyche. They sit, 18th? We're 15th. You know, there should be pressure probably on both managers' jobs a bit more. You know, Sean Dyche, like Chris Wilder, I can't understand how they're not talking about sacking him. In relation to Arteta, there has to, in the same way, there was a lot of energy when he won the FA Cup. We've got to question mark him, not just him alone, but question mark. So both, I won't say questions will be answered, but both teams need 3 points and need 3 points very quickly. In Arsenal's case, you lot know we need 3 points. If we don't get 3 points, you know, it could be a bit long for us because, you know, we've got a midweek game against Southampton. The way Southampton's playing, they've been in good form. And I'm pretty sure all of you, none of you are really, I wouldn't say that you're not excited, but you're always wary of playing a team like Southampton, especially the form. The games are coming thick and fast, people. We know before this year's done, we have to play Chelsea at home as well. We need to get on a winning run. And for me, yeah, the fans haven't been there, but we've been getting battered away from home. We've not been putting in performances at home. We've allowed too many teams to come to the Emirates and just take 3 points. Like I said, take nothing away from Leicester, take nothing away from Villa, take nothing away from Wolves, because their game plan was spot on. Collectively, they were spot on. But for Arsenal, all of these games tell a tale of having a lot of possession, doing nothing with it, and ultimately just individual errors and lapses in concentration collectively, just allowing teams to just walk away with 3 points. Like, losing is part of the game, especially as an Arsenal fan. But if it's how you lose, if you know, all man's to the pump and individual quality, whether that be Vardy, Grealish, Pedro Neto, even away to Spurs, if the individual quality of certain players shines, then fair play. What can anybody say, people? It is what it is in that regards. But too often than not, we're just throwing away the points. We're handing them easily. And this is where I say players need to play for themselves. Before you can play for a club, the fans or the manager, you need to put pride in your performance. And I don't see centre halves, you know, badly wanting to keep clean sheets. Fullbacks the same. I don't see midfielders badly wanting to dominate. I don't see strikers want to top the goal scoring charts and do all of these sort of things. And until each player individually is motivated 100% of the time, there's not much we can do. We're not here by mistake. You know, we haven't been failing for these years by mistake. We're not where we are as a football club by mistake. It's as simple as that. We're here through a collection of bad errors by players, by people above the players, like the management, and also the people above the management and collectively the owner. So we're not here by mistake. And if we afford to keep feeling sorry for ourselves, we're just going to keep slipping further and further down the line, people. We cannot feel sorry for ourselves. It kills me that we've dropped all of these points, but it's where you go from now. Obviously, if you in life, you know, there comes a point, you know, your life might not be going the way you want. You know, you might have had some regrettable decisions, but at some point when you sit in a room, you have to forgive yourself and just accept the past and then try to move forward. If you feel sorry for yourself, it's going to get worse. Them results have happened now. We have to accept it. And now everybody needs to stand up to be counted. Every man of that 25-man squad, because we hear about fight, we hear about integrity, we hear about desire, we hear about all of these things off the field, and I don't see it on it. I'd prefer less talking and then show it. You know, People look the part. It seems that right now it seems that Arsenal have a bunch of politicians. We talk, we sound real good, but when you get down to the nuts and bolts and you actually look at it, it's a bit crazy, people. Like I said, we need 3 points. I don't care how Arsenal do it against Burnley. Just do it. Again, you can look at Burnley and say the fact they've only won one game this season gives you a source of pride. Don't you remember Villa weren't exactly in the best of form coming into the game against us, and neither were Leeds. So you can't look into form. It doesn't mean anything really and truly. And I'm all sure you're all scared of the 85th minute, Chris Wood back post, hanging on Bellerin, knocking it in, snatching 3 points. And that's why I'm scared, because if I'm Sean Dyche, I'm saying, boys, our season's been poor. Let's start a change. We're going to Arsenal. They think they're better than us. They're pampered. They're on big money. They're London boys. Let's go and start our season. Arsenal are soft. Go out there and start your season. Go out there and end the woeful record you have against Arsenal. Stand up to be counted. Be fearless. Nobody expects you to win. And nobody, but more headlines will be made if you lose. So go out there and put in a good performance. They're Arsenal. I'll genuinely say, we've watched them. We've done our analysis. You've seen them in the league. You get one goal against them, or you make things tough for them, they'll start to curl into a ball. You make things tough for them. Arsenal struggle to come back from a goal behind. If you get that first goal and we sit two banks of 4, 11 men behind the ball, what are they going to do? You can see what Arteta's doing. He's trying to cross the ball. We're a better aerial team than them. We'll let them have that. So if I'm Sean Dyche, I'm trying to rally the troops. I'm trying to say, yo, listen, this is where our season starts. This is where we get our win. This is the mark of how we stay in this league. And then you look, and then who is better? That's the one fear as an Arsenal fan. You're all scared because who is a better team to play than us when you're in a woeful bit of form? So it firmly is a relegation 6-pointer. We need to target 40 points. So we'll have to see. I say we need 6 points. 4 points based on this form would be good from our next 2 games. We need to kind of get 2 wins against Burnley and Southampton. The players owe it to themselves, people. I don't want to read into stats, but you've got to look at it. I think Everton, the draw with Everton was a good point for Burnley. I think there was, credit to their keeper. They could have lost. Also credit to Everton's keeper because they could have won. But I think it was a better performance. And again, that's how the mentality starts to shift. You take some positives from that game and you come into this Arsenal game in London. You get a positive result against Arsenal. Who knows what Burnley can say in relation to staying in the league. We know what we're going to get with Burnley. Maybe not so much this season because they're at the bottom, but we know they're defensively 9 times out of 10 very hard to break down. 2 lines of defense, 2 banks of 4, 11 men behind the ball. Set pieces is where they're going to exploit. They're going to do the gamesmanship and things like that. We know full well what we're in for. They're going to exert themselves physically. And, Arteta's spoken about it again in the press conference, but will the players heed it, people? Will the players heed it? And Sean Dyche, again, is rallying up the troops, people, because if you see it, copy and paste Google search, Sean Dyche feels his players are finding their feet again after picking up a hard-earned point at home to Everton. He said, I thought we delivered a really good performance in general, and especially in the first half when we showed energy against a good outfit. I think we have given as good as we've got, if not more. But barring the Manchester City game, when they took us to bits, we've been excellent lately. So again, he's probably saying, yo, people, trust me, to his team, Sean Dyche. It's going to happen. You played better. Apart from the City game, we've been steadily improving. The win is going to come. Look at that performance against Everton. Go and ask these Arsenal boys questions. They struggle mentally when they go a goal down. They already know and can see the headlines and see the boos. Play upon that. These are big time Charlies. Go and play upon that. So this is what we're going against, a galvanized side. There's no divine right. We can't just say, because we've been losing, we're owed a win. I want to see us start strong. In all of the games we've lost this season, 9 times out of 10, probably bar Liverpool and Manchester City, we've had hella possession. Possession means F if you're not going to do anything with it. If we're going to really cross the ball, I want to see movement. I want to see runners. I want to see a run that takes a defender out of the game so another teammate can exploit that. Because if you're going to cross it, but you need people who are delivering the crosses to be good. You need movement. It's as simple as that. And from what I've seen in the Premier League under Mikel Arteta this season, collectively with the players, it's been nothing but panic. You don't play Partey with him not being fit and now you miss him for further weeks if you weren't under pressure and panicking. You don't just cross the ball aimlessly against Spurs, who are better in the air than Aubameyang. Aubameyang's isolated as well if you're not desperate. Desperation screams a lack of ideas. So everybody needs to get together. Like you said, I want to see variation of crosses, but the crosses can be the best crosses in the world if there's no movement. So again, it's down to the coaching staff and the training ground. You can't excuse, I'm not saying you are, but you can't excuse Arteta of everything. Sean Dyche went on to say, City can do that to most teams, but in the last 4 or 5 games, we've been showing more signs. We did more things right today, and overall, there are a lot of good things about what we are trying to do here. It's no surprise that it's happening when the squad is getting fitter and injuries are getting less. So there's more depth, more strength in depth. Apologies, people. He then went on to say the competitive spirit is good, and there is belief in each other to go and perform. Coming off that result at City, it was a challenge, but it was a good reaction today, and we showed a really solid performance, people. Again, and when you hear the players like James Rodriguez speak, you know, he said in relation to it, he said, you know, when you look at it, and again, you can clearly see the boys are focusing, or Burnley boys are focusing on their woeful record against Arsenal, you know, because they're speaking about, and they're talking about Arsenal's woeful form as well, people, where we've just picked up 1 point from the last 12 on domestic duty. Apparently, this article said, he said, apparently, it's the strange statistics, but those statistics are there to be broken. He went on to say, and the best place to start is on Sunday. That's what the aim is. Sometimes you can't put your finger on these things, and hopefully we can change that on Sunday. They will be up and ready, especially after their recent disappointments, and we are going to face the best Arsenal side, I feel. So what do you hear? They're preparing for a rebound. They're preparing for Arsenal to go and do something and try and present issues to us. Saying that, you know, I'm not too sure, because we were saying we need to see a reaction against Wolves. We were saying we needed to see a reaction against Spurs. If I can't, it weren't a woeful performance against Spurs, but it was the same old mistakes. If you keep showing me these meaty things, if I'm questioning your hunger in a North London derby, and if everybody left it on the line in a North London derby, then how can I expect you to be up for it at Burnley or Leeds or Liverpool, or, well, not Liverpool, sorry, Leicester and things like that? It doesn't make much sense. So you can firmly tell Burnley and Burnley's players, they're having a siege mentality. They're galvanizing the troops. They're coming down to England from Yorkshire or wherever Burnley is, you know, for war. So we need to be at that. And what I want to see is a fast start, because we're at home and we have not started fast at home, because there's going to be fans there, you know. Arteta speaks about the fans' energy and stuff. You need to give fans confidence and energy, and they will reciprocate it tenfold. You know, and he also said, we will have to be at our best to compete and get a result. I feel it's a strange season for everyone with what's going on at the moment, and I feel we can go to any team and cause problems for them. They have great players, and the way they play is exciting, and they create chances. We've got to stop that and create problems in their defense to push them back, and hopefully a combination of that can be a positive result. So again, what does that tell me? They're not the quickest side, but I'm pretty sure if you knock the ball into space for James Rodriguez into certain angles, he can present issues. What does that tell you? They want to create nerves within our defense, whether that be from dead ball situations. You know, Leno might come out, a centre half might go to it, there'll be no communication, or fullbacks might not get out to the man quick enough. That's what they want to go, because they know this Arsenal team, a couple of bar Gabriel and Tierney, you have a couple of opportunities, the weak mentality starts to play. So Burnley are coming here for war. We can't come here for anything less than that. We can't. Burnley are, listen, we can't look at their form, especially as an Arsenal team. You can't look at their form, say they sit rock bottom in the table, or in and amongst the bottom half of the bottom three, and think, yo, that means we're gonna win. Form goes out the window, people. It goes out the window. Big up everybody. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Please make sure you're checking out the pinned message on this live stream, because it will tell you when the next one is, the watch along tomorrow. Big up everybody locked in. Big up Sandro. Big up Ems. Big up Jay. Thank you very much. Rashid has said, self-accountability first and team accountability. Well said. But that's it, my guy. Because if you ain't got accountability in yourself, if you don't stand up to be counted for yourself, how can you then play for the club, play for the fans, play for the manager, if you don't want to be a winner yourself? Now, I'm not saying they're here to lose and things, but I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand it. Big up Ryan. You know, like you said, actions speak louder than words, man. We can all talk the talk. Talk is a currency everybody's got. If you was to compare the exchange rate with talking to actually doing, we're not going to get much pounds for our bucks, are we, really and truly? Big up yourself, Omar. Come on, rise up the likes. Like Stylish and AC said, hit up the likes. It doesn't cost a thing, and it helps me. It helps me get seen by more people. In fact, you lot have been hitting the like button so much. When I looked at the YouTube analytics yesterday, as I do every week, it said your videos are performing better, specifically because there's more likes. More likes means I pop up in more people's recommended. So please get that one going. You lot really are doing your little bit to take me a bit further, people. And I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I really do. So keep doing that. Let's keep progressing. I want to get by the end of the season, I want to get this to thingy, man. I want to get my channel to 30K, man. And it feels so close, but yet so far at the same time, man. What do you guys feel in relation to the Burnley game? Thumbnail looks hard. One of you guys made it for me. Shout out to you lot, man. I really appreciate that. You know, Michael's in here. He said Arteta scum half rugby manager. He needs TLC and sit down. Okay. You're 12 minutes late, but you can always go back. It's calm, you know. Mandir is saying Xhaka and William must not start. Smith Rowe and Nelson should. I hear you, my guy, but we all know Bellerin, Xhaka, William will start. Again, we don't know. Arteta does have the ability on occasion to throw up some surprises on occasion. Like, I didn't think Xhaka would have been dropped for Man United away. I'm not saying he shouldn't. Or I know Rob Holding got injured, but David Luiz was meant to be dropped for Manchester City away. Oh, man, this is some ice cold water, people. I can't lie. And as you lot can see, I'm getting ill. Anyways, moving away from that, though, people, like I said, we need to win. What else is there to say, people? We need 3 points. We need to climb the table. We need to put a run of games together. You know, top 4 is out of the window. Now we're just playing for pride and credibility. As much as I don't think Arsenal are going to get top 4 or finish in a respectable position, there's still 20-odd games to play for. That's a lot of points. I'm not saying Arsenal are going to do anything, but there's still a lot of points. You know, that doesn't mean just foregoing the season and giving up. So these players need to get their acts together. And like Rashid also said, you know, enough of the PR and the sound bites, you know, roll up your sleeves and show the hard work on the football field. Simple as that. Come on, thank you very much, CCP Media. Please make sure you're saying what he said. Hit the like button. There's 91 of you. Can we get 91 likes? Arteta needs to bench Bellerin and Xhaka. He won't, though, will he? You know, Emma saying apologies, I don't know why it's not coming up. I'd go with Sabas and Willock in the middle. Let William get stuck against them builders. Get stuck against them builders. Personally, I'll go with El Nene and Ceballos personally. But I hear you and I see that logic. You know, Mohammed is saying he's not confident, but I hope we get a win and no less. For me as well, we need to get a win. The games are coming thick and fast, people. We've got, 3 games in 10 days now? You've got Burnley tomorrow, which is going to be a tough game regardless of the form. You go against a Southampton team that are playing very decent, and again, against Southampton, I hope we're switched on from set pieces because you've got players like Vestergaard. Then on that following Saturday, you've got Everton away. So again, Southampton and Everton, I'm quite scared. Yeah, Burnley's form, you might be a bit less nervous than them 2 sides, but you still need to turn up. You still need to do your job. And like I said, you need to win, and you're playing for pride. You're playing for pride. So he needs to fix up. Peter said, you just know Chris Wood is dunking on Rob Holding. Arsenal going to get moved to. Hopefully it's not the case. I wouldn't even say Rob Holding, because if I'm Chris Wood, I'm looking at Bellerin, half my size, not good in the air, not the strongest. I'm waiting to the 80th minute. I'm going to pin him. I'm going to make the run on him. He's half my size. I'll eat him in the air. I'm scoring. I just need to get my head on it. In fact, didn't he do that? Didn't we play Burnley a couple of years ago? I think either Reece Nelson or Joe Willock started as well, and Leno was there. We won at home, but we conceded a cheap goal. So we'll have to see. Do you think Marie warrants a start in the Premier League? Well, he can hardly do any worse than most people. Personally, if we go with a back 4, I'm going with Gabriel and David Luiz. So probably not in that regards. Like, I would like to see either Maitland and Cedric, but we'll get into the lineup in a sec. Do you believe it's a must-win game? Bro, this, like you said, you know, I was saying it's a must-win against Spurs, must-win against Wolves, must-win against Leeds, must-win against Villa, and I've not seen the players playing like such. I haven't seen that. So, you know, what's going to change really? You know, what is going to change if we lose? You know, what's going to change? We're just going to focus on the Southampton game. We're just going to move forward, and it is what it is in that regards. So I believe for pride reasons, for all the talk they give us, it's a must-win, but will they play like it? Of course not, man. We'll have to see. Like he said, like Ndot said, please get the likes up. Please get the likes up. Hakaya said, I expect nothing but a win from tomorrow. Half these players need to know it's a privilege to play for us. And it's a privilege to be a professional footballer. And for me, I always talk about legacy. You know, every time you get onto that field, you're all giving your little own bit of legacy, you know, in football, both collectively and in terms of your family's name. I don't see players playing like, you know, they realize a footballing career is short. You know, it's short. It's very short, and it's a privilege to forget Arsenal. It's a privilege to be a professional footballer. You know, how many of us in this would rather be that? They don't play like, you know, that like they love this job. They don't play like somebody's going to take it from them. You know, I want to see players playing like they're never going to get this opportunity again. I want to see players playing like they don't want if I'm a fullback, I don't want Maitland-Niles and Cedric in this spot. So I'm looking down right back. Midfield, if it's not Partey, I'm playing with Partey. No one's taking my spot. Wingers, no one's taking my spot. Nobody seems to care. No one seems to care. It's comfortability and a lack of fight. And I just think they can't fight. I think too many of these players, when their backs are against the wall and they have to respond to pressure, they break. You know, pressure makes diamonds or it kills people. And I think too often than not, there's been no diamonds at this football club. It's as simple as that, really and truly. Nobody wants it enough. When the cameras are off, nobody in this football club wants it. You know, you can see with Liverpool and them man there, you know, when the camera is off, them man are doing extra training at home. They're really working on analytical approaches, what they can do right and wrong. We look good when the camera is on. It's what these players are doing when the camera is off. The beautiful thing about football is you can trick some of the people some of the time, but you can't trick everyone all the time. And like you see with Arsenal, once you cross that white line, you know, onto that green field, there's no hiding place. There's no hiding place. Everything comes to light. Everything we do in the dark comes to light. For individual players not kicking on as much as I think they should, not learning from mistakes, it's because you're not working on the training ground enough. Or if you are working on it, whatever practice you're doing in relation to it, you know, you need to revisit that. Work smart, not hard, sort of thing. So again, you're not doing that. You can tell us this and that. When I'm seeing players consistently make 6 foul throws, you're not working on that in training. You're not trying to learn. You know, you're lacking self-awareness, and we have a bunch of players that lack self-awareness and have inflated senses of their abilities. This is why, you know, they're in this position, really and truly, man, really and truly. And you know, when you look at Burnley, as I said, 6 wins, 6 points, 1 win all season, 2 goals scored in their last 5, and they've conceded 9. You know, Dwight McNeil, apologies, he's been getting a lot of frank from Burnley fans, but you know, he looked good against Everton in the second half. You know, they're a good. We know what to expect. They're going to try and exploit set pieces. You know, they're going to be switched on. They're not going to come here and try outplay us. Not that we can play decent football. You know. So we'll have to see. Neither team has nothing. I want to see both teams play fearless, people. And I want to see decision making. I don't want to see crossing for the sake of crossing. I don't want to see sitting back for the sake of sitting back. I want to see fearlessness. I want to see desire. I want to see a team that genuinely wants to get 3 points out there. You know, you can't mess around. If you want 3 points, go out there and make it tough for Burnley. Because too often than not, teams are coming from all over England, coming to the Emirates and not having to try. Like all the games we've played recently are lost, you know. Credit the opposition's game plan, credit individual players, you know. What Telemans was good at the Emirates, Fofana was good at the Emirates, you know. Maddison, I can't remember, he must have been good. What's his name? The right back was good. Against Aston Villa, you had Watkins, Douglas Luiz, Grealish, Barkley, Spurs, Son, Kane, Højbjerg, Wolves, Pedro Neto, Adama, you know, and many different ones. You can talk about the individuals and the collectives, but we're handing it to them. We're handing it to them. We're presenting, we're giving these lot 3 points. You know, we're not making it rough, you know. And Burnley are going to take us to the limit. Hopefully we start off well, score a couple goals, Aubameyang gets on the score sheet and things like that. But they love a high pressure game. And the thing is, what we need to do is not panic, even if we go a goal down. That's one thing that annoys me. It annoys me even on Sunday for my team. And I said it a few weeks ago when we was losing. I looked at everyone. I was like, what? You lot never played football before. You never been a goal down. You know, if you got a goal down, it's not the end of the world, as long as you believe you can get back in it. And too often than not, once again, when we are staring down the barrel of negativity or adversity, that's where I need to see my players stand up to be counted. I'm tired of seeing 3 or 4 men react to that, because it's a squad game. If I'm saying 3 or 4 and there's 11 players on the football field, you can already see we're fighting a losing game. You know, if I say there's only X amount of players out of a 25-man squad, you can already see we're fighting a losing game. So we've got to do a lot better in several regards. We've got to see what we can do, man. Hopefully we can get 3 points. Like you said, it is sad. You know, and Ravi, great point. We conceded from a set piece on Thursday, you know, 2 sloppy goals on Thursday. So I want to see a reaction, because the next 2 games you're going against 2 sides. Burnley rely on it too much, and that's their main aspect. Southampton have a lot more about them as a football club, but you look at what they're doing from set pieces. So switch on. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Looking at the statistics, people, You know, Arsenal have won each of their last 9 home meetings with Burnley in all competitions. Only against Stoke and Barnsley are they on a longer current winning run at home. So again, on top of Burnley's woeful form, you want to fix this. You know, you want to do better. You want to improve on that. You want to shut Arsenal fans up if they are complacent. You know, how good would it be if you end that game and you've given your fans 3 big away points? You know, because I'm not too sure for Burnley's fixtures after this. If we look at it quickly. Well, for us, we already know we've got Southampton and Everton. For Burnley, quickly, let me see who they've got, people. What? No, don't go on the Burnley website. What's all of this? Burnley FC. Apologies, people. Burnley got Villa on Thursday, then they've got Wolves, then they've got Leeds, then they've got Sheffield. So if I'm looking at it, like I said, they need to have a good run of games, people. You know, they got battered against Chelsea, they drew against Brighton, they won 1-0 against Palace, handed it to them against City. You know, bearing in mind all of these 5 games that they've played, you know, he said they've been playing well, excluding the Manchester City game, and he made big praise of their Burnley game. So again, they're trying to stay in the league, and I look at it, they need to stand up to be counted. So again, we need to be fearful of a siege mentality of that sort of talk where it's, where it's, this is how our season starts. Because if they get 3 points against us, you got to play Villa away. Again, you've got 2 trips to the Midlands. You've got Villa and Wolves. They've got Leeds away. They've got Sheffield United, which is a 6-pointer. And then after that, to end December, they've got Sheffield United at home. And on the 2nd of January, they've got Fulham. So they're probably thinking if we can put a run of form together, and we can go into that in form and we can take 3 points off Sheffield United and Fulham, who were fighting for relegation, we might have a chance of staying in this division. So we need to be careful. You lot already know Arsenal's fixtures to come and why we can't afford to feel sorry for ourselves already, people. Because like I said, if for any of these players, that don't want to be here, now's the time to tell Arteta you don't want to be here. Now's the time to tell Arteta that you cannot be relied on, because we've got Burnley, we've got Southampton, we've got Everton. After Everton away, we've got Chelsea at home, we've got Brighton away, which I'm never confident personally. You've got West Bromwich Albion away to kick off the new year. You've got the FA Cup on the 9th of January. Then you've got Palace at home. The games are coming thick and fast. Then you've got Newcastle, then Southampton away, then Man United at home. Then you've got to travel both to Wolves and Villa, away from home. So games are coming thick and fast. Stand up to be counted. We have not got time for cowards. If you're a coward, keep yourself at yard, because you're not down for this. Burnley have lost all 6 of their away Premier League games against Arsenal, which is their worst 100% losing record away at a single side in the competition. Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 15 league meetings with Burnley since a 1-0 loss in September 1974. And these records are there to be broken. Didn't Wolves or Leicester, one of those Midlands clubs, have a similar one against him? Against us. So I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure on what happens in that regards. We do need to get rid of Kroenke. He is the common denominator. I feel you, Saeed. I'm tired of the negativity and the negative emotions. I just want 3 points. 3 points isn't going to change much, but I would love for it to happen. Big up yourself again, Rashid, man. I hope to be providing you some quality as you're working, whatever your job is. Please hit the like button, people. It doesn't cost a thing. Please check out the pin message, because we go again in terms of my live stream. Touch the like button, like M said. It really doesn't mean anything or cost anything. I'm not too sure if we'll get to 30K anytime soon, but let's keep pushing. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, people. Big up yourself, Will. I hope you're good. I hope you're well and safe. Hope you had a little breakfast in. And yeah, man, you can enjoy what's left of your Saturday, like with everybody else. Moving away from that, Arsenal have lost each of their last 3 Premier League home games. They last lost 4 consecutive home league games back in 1959. So again, you don't want to be etched in history permanently, as someone who was part of that. Like I said, every time you play for this club, it's legacy. Right now, it's legacy in a negative aspect, because how many times have you seen the statistics? This is our worst start to the season, worst goals tallies, worst this, worst that. Do you want to be part of this, or do you want to be part of something positive? You all need to leave your own little hallmark within football. And like I said, I don't get the sense of footballers at my club have a sense of purpose, want to create something, want to leave something in their own little way. As you lot know, Arsenal have won just 13 points in their opening 11 league games this season. It's our worst start to a season since 1981-82. We've also lost 6 of our last 9 games, people. which is our worst run across a spell of 9 games since April 1995, the year I was born. So again, we need to get our act together thick and fast, people. Should we hear what Arteta has to say, people? Let me see Arteta's genuine comments. Let's bring in Arteta's. What you guys got to say? People saying the job is too big for Arteta. Well, the job is too big for some of these players. They don't have heart. Probably. You know, I've got more faith in Arteta than the players. That doesn't mean I don't criticize Arteta, but some of these players, I've seen them under different managers and they're just moving mad. Big up yourself, Ollie. 3 points would lift the mood, but how long is the mood going to stay if we then go and win on Sunday and put in a woeful performance, obviously against Southampton? People look at it as one step forward, one step back. So then why are you Arteta out? Where have you specifically said I'm Arteta out? You know, I can criticize my manager. I can praise my manager. I have no allegiances to these players, to the manager, to the owner of this football club or the man above. You know, I'm not going to sit here. I don't know what you're on, Titus, but I'm not going to sit here and just condone nonsense. I'm not going to sit here and just praise nonsense. You know, I'm going to call it as I see it. So I'm not too sure what you're on about or what you're referring to. Unless you're speaking about someone in the comments, you can't tell me that I am directly Arteta out. If somebody was Arteta out, I don't think that's a bad thing because Arteta's not showing you anything. As long as you're open to being proved wrong, in the same way if people are cheerleading for Arteta, be open that it might go another way, people. Simple as that. So it's as simple as that. Apologies, man. I don't know. It's hard, man. I can only comment on what you guys are saying, man. You know me. One of my pet peeves is when, by all means, criticize me. And apologies, Titus, but by all means, criticize me. I don't like when people tell me I've said something that I haven't. You know. Let's be real, you know, they're trophies. Some managers haven't got that. Let's be real, it is something, and it shows that Arteta has got some brilliance. It doesn't mean nothing now because you can't rest on past laurels. You need to build upon things. Let's be serious. It is something, especially the FA Cup. The Community Shield's only relevant if you win. Let's not have agendas. Let's look at it objectively. I think let's be serious. What trophies are attainable for Arteta realistically beyond top 4, which looks like a trophy? Beyond trying to win an FA Cup, we're hoping for Europa League. That's probably the job too far. What trophies are attainable? Because we can't win the Champs, you can't win the Prem. To be fair, like I said, some managers and players haven't won anything. So I think you need to be a bit calm, people. I think you need to calm that down, man. Big up yourself, Sanjo, man. Big up yourself, man. My guy. And that's where, it's a difficult one because this is why I can't just blame the manager. The manager, don't get twisted. He doesn't get a free pass from me, because some of the things that I was seeing last season in terms of a blueprint, they've immediately gone from the team right now. I don't see it. I don't know what we're on about. These little things there can be attributed to him. Now, whatever man say about Arteta's not got his own players and all of this nonsense, go and look at the statistics. We're next to Burnley and these sort of teams, Sheffield, for shooting and scoring and all these things. You can't just sit here and say it's because of recruitment, and you have to somewhat look at the coaching or lack of. The players have to take blame. Like somebody said in the comments, some man have been here under different managers. Some players are probably looking at it as, boy, if we lose some of these games, Arteta might get the clip. I'm contracted until 2023. Do you get it? Because ultimately it's going to fall with Arteta's head. Edu and Vinay haven't done enough in the transfer market. But even them, I'm not saying I'm having sympathy for them. But then I hear, like I said yesterday, when I hear you're having to beg money for Partey, how much can I expect you to do your job? And as a consequence, how much can I expect Arteta to do his job? I can only really criticize you on the things that I believe you can control, So we'll have to see. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Well, it's good, man. Aye, 4:30 in LA. Ridiculous. Big up yourself, man. MP has said, big up DG. How is our gaffer, the media world Yoda, not able to strengthen the team's mentality and composure? On one hand, I think, you can take a man to the water, but you can't force him to drink. In the sense of Arteta he can only tell you so much. You've got to want to be a winner for yourself. And I don't think these players want it. And I do think when you need someone to keep motivating you to do something, it's a bit concerning because, you need to, it's like life. It's like with Deluded, Arsenal annoy me plenty of times and I don't want to do videos and stuff. But because I love doing what I'm doing, I love speaking to you guys, where we win, lose or draw, whatever's happened, even stuff in my personal life. Man, come here and bring it because I've got a goal in mind and that's what I want. And do these players have a goal in mind as unrealistic as top 4? How many of them players are dreaming about top 4, can't go to sleep because it's paining them that they're not moving closer to that goal? I don't think they have that. I don't think they've got a marker on their wall that they're looking at every day and saying, that's what I want to do. Because some of you have been part of this failing thing for many years and you're still going on with the same stupidness. So I don't get that. The manager can only tell you so much. But at the same time, you know, you have to look at the manager. Why was you able to get through to them last year and not now? Was it because you was a new man, breath of fresh air? They were so tired of Emre that they were just listening to it? Because again, I get onto the players because the pressing and pressing together was there last year, was passing the ball decent last year. You know, there was a bit of a DNA. All of these things are gone. Now that's down to the players probably coming a bit complacent, and it's also down to the manager. And it's also down to the owners not building upon potentially what we had. Simple as that. Like, you know, it's quite sad. You know, you get 6 points. It will lift the mood. Once again, I have to reload this comment. It will lift the mood, but probably only temporarily. Smash the like button, please, people. Please make sure you hit the reminder. Please hit the like button, hit the reminders for the next episode tomorrow. Well, yeah, tomorrow we'll be live in terms of a watch along. Oren has said, apologies for mispronunciation. Fantastic perspective and well-articulated content, DG. Big up from sunny Dubai. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's ridiculous. What has this said? Deluded, you don't seem pissed about us being 14th. Are you happy accepting this? I'm not going to reply to that. Clearly, I'm not. Clearly, I'm not. What do you want me to do? Bang up and sit up? I think if you remove your anger, remove your glasses for a second and actually listen to what's being said and actually some of the comments being said in the live chat that I'm looking at, you would see sense. Just because I'm not raging and stuff doesn't mean I'm happy with 14th. I don't think there's an Arsenal fan that enjoys being there. I don't think there's an Arsenal fan that enjoys hearing me listen to hard truths. You know, nobody is saying to accept anything. It's like the players have to change it. The manager has to change it. You know, we cannot sit here and just keep going ape shit. You know, you typing all angry and carrying on, it doesn't mean anything, people. On that note, I'm gonna have to put you on timeout. I think your head's getting a bit hot and you need to calm down. You're moving quite childish. I think we have a very good community here in terms of DG Nation, and we're all like the gentleman before said, we've got a good little conversation here. There's articulated views. I don't need nonsense. You know, I'm up too early for nonsense. This content is free. You lot are giving your time. We don't need nonsense, bro. If man want to rage and call man this and that, this ain't the profile for this. This ain't the platform for that. Like, we know it's unacceptable to be 14th. Nobody is happy with it. I've clearly said players need to take accountability. Management need to do this. Owner needs to do this. What vibe do you get that I'm happy with 14th? Is it because I'm not swearing? Please turn off the internet, go outside, get some fresh air, and then come back with a bit more maturity because you're not displaying yourself as that. But moving forward away from that, would you take Eriksen with Xhaka? Nah, I would sell Xhaka. I would take Eriksen on loan. I don't want Eriksen on a permanent, personally. Let's listen to what Arteta's had to say in relation to the game against Burnley. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. In relation to team news, as we know, Partey will play no part. Arteta said Martinelli played his first 45 minutes for a long time, obviously midweek against AFC Wimbledon. He was good and he came through the game and felt really good. He has trained, so maybe he'll be on the bench. I don't think so, but it's a possibility. David Luiz will have to assess him today and tomorrow to see how he feels and whether he's able to compete or not. Thomas will be out for a few games. It's the same area where he got injured previously. He felt it again, and we'll have to see how long it is going to take to heal. We'll have to see, won't we? And that one there sounds a bit confusing. And that's it for me, because we've lost the battle. There was no need. Again, I'm a fan. I'm not going to sit and be a hypocrite. I can't get onto Arteta because I was saying in the build-up to the Spurs game, Partey. But when it became apparent, you know, the medical doctors are obviously liaising with you. So someone has, so maybe there's a level of incompetence because someone on the medical staff has deemed him fit to play, you know, and obviously he must have passed some sort of tests or done something to obviously say he can play. But when I look at it, Thomas Partey is a competitor. He wants to play. You know, sometimes you've got to save these sort of individuals for themselves, lose a battle to win a war. Clearly, we would have been saying, where's Partey? But we might have had him for previous games. Do you get it? We might have had him for previous games, for subsequent games. Now we're missing him for how long? And we're kind of back to square one. Like, for me, there's no Partey. I don't know if he's going to start El Nene. El Nene would start for me. So we're back to square one, and this is why you need a squad of similar quality. There shouldn't be a mad drop off if Partey isn't there, which is going, or one thing that's going to happen. Gabriel is going to miss a game or two, whether that's suspension or injury. It's common sense, and we shouldn't be sitting here and saying, "Where's Gabriel?" You know, there should be a base level of performance, so that, of course, you see a difference if certain individuals are not involved, but it shouldn't go down to shambles. So yeah, man, we're without Partey. We're potentially David Luiz is touch and go. Martinelli probably won't be involved. You know, Partey's out for the next few games. There's been no word on Reece Nelson. Apparently, he missed the last game against in the Europa League due to a minor head knock. So I assume he's over that and in contention. He said, when asked of the importance of a win against Burnley, he said, "It is vital for us. We have been inconsistent in the competitions. A really good run in the Nketiah bell, which the pressure is off and people are playing rotated sides. A really good run in the Europa League, where a mixture of, you know, the no pressure because we're already through, the lack of quality and things like that. So that's probably why." That's probably why, and ultimately the pressure, and that's probably why you see us zipping it about, moving it about, and whatnot. So that's one thing. And he's also said the results in the Premier League haven't been what we want. We are very frustrated with that, and we know that, and we know how important it is to put those results together really quickly because we need them straight away. What more can I add on that? We need to get them there. We need to get them there. What are you saying? Why are you blaming yourself for Partey rush to play versus Spurs? I don't think you're listening to what I said. I'm saying I wanted him to start in the build up to the game, so I can't really get at Arteta at the risk of sounding like a hypocrite. But at the same time, Arteta is the man that liaises with the medical team. He knows full well the status of Partey. Like I said, you need to save Partey from himself. Lose a battle to win the war. We might have lost the Spurs. We might have spoke about Partey missing it, but he might be able to play against Burnley and then against Southampton. And then me, crucially, which I want him to be, I want him to be about. But you know, Everton away, we need that. So we'll have to see. What has Daniel said? Yo, DG, there's an auto like plugin on Google Chrome. You can set it to like any video you click on from someone you're subscribed to. Tell your fans. So you've seen it there, man. What's the actual program? We can do something like that, man. Deluded, why don't you ever raise your voice when you get angry? You sound the same. Why am I going to raise my voice on the internet to I was about to swear there, to people I don't know? I don't need to raise my voice. Like, listen, I wouldn't say angry. I just get frustrated with stupid comments. You know, if you saw me in a different light, I probably think you probably wouldn't think I'm this calm guy. You should see me on a football field or in another sort of reality. I'm a bit hot-headed. I'm a humble guy, but I'm a bit more hot-headed than you see it, man. Yeah, DM that, Daniel. I really appreciate that. Good looking out. Arteta himself said a few games. You know, in Arsenal's perspective, few games could be a few games. It could be seeing man again in March. I'm not saying that, but you know how the talk goes. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Jordan has said, do you think any of Willock, Maitland or Smith Rowe deserve to start in the league right now? If so, which one would you prefer to play? Well, for me, I think they're all chomping at the bit. Because when I'm looking at experienced players, I hear that, you know, we play these young players, we're gonna get less competitive results. But these experienced players, you can't underestimate experience, but it becomes irrelevant when you see what you're seeing. And I feel a lot of these players are chomping at the bit. I feel Reece Nelson, he weren't involved on Thursday, as I said, due to injury. But I'm looking at Willian. He needs to be playing. I'm looking at the way Willian's playing. I would like to see either Pepe or Nelson. I think Nelson should get looking against Burnley if fit. I would like to see Maitland-Niles given opportunity in midfield, or if not, at right back. And obviously on that, I would like to see Cedric get an opportunity at right back. Because they both played good in the week. Bellerin this season has been a bit woeful. Let me not lie, Bellerin's been hot and cold this year. Sometimes he's shown elements to say, cool, I'm going to have a decent season, you know, in terms of his 3 assists and his second half against Sheffield United. But it's been same old with Bellerin. Anytime he's against a 1v1 demon, someone that can take him on, someone that can do something against him, he struggled. He struggled against Grealish. He struggled against Leeds. He struggled against Wolves, you know, and Pedro Neto. He struggled, Son weren't taking him on consistently. It weren't like a Grealish thing where he was mocking him. It's just like you made your own stupid mistakes, and you know it was highlighted with the foul throw. So for me, when I'm hearing non-negotiables, when I'm hearing you need to pull it in training and you need to put it in a match day, I want to see other people take chances, you know. So I would like to see Maitland-Niles or Cedric, but based on what you're saying, Maitland-Niles either at right back or in the midfield. I would like to see Nelson given an opportunity at right back because other people aren't taking their chances. Joe Willock, I must admit, I wouldn't mind him getting a run out, but I would rather right now go with, based on who's fit. Not that Ceballos has been good, but I wouldn't mind going with a Ceballos and El Nene in a pivot, and then putting Smith Rowe in that 10 row. I think Smith Rowe immediately, he can help us in that 10 row. I think long term he's at 8.5. I think he can do that 10. I think, he's spoken about looking at Kevin De Bruyne, and it's a good person to try and learn from. But I think he should be looking at Grealish a bit, trying to learn how to be that sort of wide playmaker and being a bit more adaptable. So I think Smith Rowe, Maitland, Nelson, they'd be the ones I'm looking at. Me personally, I think Balogun should be on the bench, get a couple minutes, because we don't have many options on the bench anyways. And when you ain't got many options and man aren't scoring goals, it's a problem. So they're probably the players off the top of my head. Personally, I think Joe Willock's had a couple opportunities and he's not really seized them. So I think he can wait a bit, really and truly. But again, if he plays, it's not like other people are really taking opportunities, man. I think you're going a bit ahead because what other, and again, it might not be just down to Arteta, but did he get a call up under Unai Emery? I don't think he did. So let's rein it in a bit with these hot takes. I've learned more about my club from 5 minutes of Deluded talking than 3-4 years of AFTV. Hey, there's some decent people in AFTV, including myself. It all depends what you look for. The people that shout and talk nonsense are the most viewed, but it is what it is, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe button if you're new here. Simple as that. Moving away from that, like he said, when asked on the importance, he said, we need to start winning and winning straight away. It's as simple as that. When asked for reasons of his Premier League form, and again, Arteta's not going to specifically tell us, we can tell you it, crossing with no real movement or you can cross a ball, you can send a letter, but who's going to receive it? We're just putting letters in the post box without delivering them to no one. That would be our crosses. We're having possession and doing F4 with it. There's no style of play. We don't try and break teams down. We're slow on the build up. We've got no ideas, and we're a team with bad players with bad habits and who have historically been badly coached. That's why you see the gap. So it's a massive cocktail, and ultimately we all know the mental aspect of football that goes into the game, and our players can't deal with the mental aspect because I always talk about this to you. You need competence. If you're a defender, I need to know you can actually defend, as stupid as it sounds. I don't care if you're a good ball player. Yeah, it might help us, but I need to know you can make tackles and all of these sort of things. Consistent. As I said, we've got a game on a Wednesday. I don't need players who are going to turn up Sunday night and then play crap on Wednesday. It's not going to help me. It's one step forward, 2 steps back. But I also mentioned confidence. You need confidence. Everyone can play when the sun's shining, when there's no pressure like in the Europa League. But who's trying to play their mad passes when fans are not confident and fans are booing and we're in poor form and it hasn't worked one time, and the world is telling you you're not good enough? I need to see siege mentality. I need to see fighting for your manager. I need to see the manager fighting for the players, because the world, even us fans, we're not that we're turning against you. We don't believe in you lot. You don't need to believe in yourself. And I think the mental aspects in the game are too underestimated, and especially at Arsenal, So I'm not too sure for all of this. He said there's been a lot of games, especially the ones we've played at home, where small details have made the huge difference. And again, Arteta, I'm not being funny, but football is made of fine margins. You yourself know this. You managed with Pep Guardiola. You know this. And why is it more often than not we're on the negative end on these fine margins? You are paid to find out these fine margins. So it just seems a bit Sunday League under 12 to me, really. And he's spoken very vague and said nothing. What's huge? There's no small details why we lost any of these games. We weren't good enough consistently. Yeah, we might not have been beaten up in some of these games. We lost 3-0 to Villa, but there's no small. It's not a game of fine margins. Fine margins for me is, we're giving as good as we get at Spurs. It might be the 82nd minute. Son's dance past a couple man. Kane showed why he's one of the best, if not the best striker in the league. That's fine margins. We'll say, all right, cool. It sucks that we lost, but we remain pending. We lost. We're handing the game to other people, so it's not making sense. And he also said, we haven't scored enough goals, and without doing that, we cannot win football matches. It's as simple as that. And the players need to get their acts together. But again, down to the coaching, because you never get the vibe Arsenal want to score goals. And a consequence of that is you never get the vibe Arsenal want to win a game of football. If you don't score, you don't win. Simple as that. What we've been doing in terms of defending isn't sustainable. And it's only now people are seeing that Arsenal's improvements defensively is overstated, man. Maybe Arteta doesn't want the youth to be part of the top. Probably, but they're part of it. They're part of it already. They're in the squad. I think that's a cop out, my guy. Love for your super chat, but I don't think that's the case. I really don't think that's the case. Omer said, "Yo, bro, real talk. What do you make of that? Arsenal realish has been saying about you, name dropping you, and all of that, bro. I don't know about all of that. I'm not. What's all of that, my guy? I don't know. I'm just here making videos and busting. I don't know what people are talking about or what other men are saying. Like, it's a bit irrelevant. I don't feed into this gossip. I don't care about all of this Shade Borough stuff. You know, shout out to, if he said something negative, it is what it is. If he said something positive, shout out to him. You know, I don't know the context. I'm not really in this. What's the thing? I'm not in this. These games. I'm just a guy who loves Arsenal. I'm not in these games. I don't know none of these content creators. None of them are my friends. What does this mean? This is irrelevant. But back to stuff that makes sense, my guy. Moving forward, you know, what are you guys saying? Fam, it's like that, just stating the obvious, man. I spoke about Shabozlai yesterday. Go and check out yesterday's vid, but it is what it is. You know, just hope you've got a backup target if you're not going to go for him. We need leaders, my guy. We need leaders. But what I don't want to keep doing, what's he? What? Apologies, fam. He's talking nonsense. Let me just keep that real with you, though. And this, guys can say I don't know Donnies, man. Like I don't know Donnies at all. You threw me off though. I feel you. We do need a leader, my guy. But you see why I don't want to harp on bringing in a leader, because we said this about Czech. You know, we said this about Louise. We said this about Alexis. We said this about Ozil. You know, whether you agree with the individuals or not, we can't keep looking at one man coming from one club with a pedigree and thinking he can change it, because that's one man versus 25. Yeah, you might see a small bounce, but it's not going to make the difference. It's not, you know, everyone needs to be a winner. It doesn't matter how, if you come from the academy, if you come from Barcelona and all of these sort of things, you know, you need to, for me, what I call winning mentality is obviously winning trophies, but it's, you know, you're training and playing to the highest standard you can. You know, you're playing with a sense of purpose. You're playing with a sense of urgency. I immediately get the vibe as a fan that you're trying to do something, you know, you're trying to create your own little legacy. Do you get it? So I'm not too sure for bringing in the leaders. I think the culture has to change, and I think it starts with the man at the top. You need someone that wants to be a winner, who owns this club and puts a healthy amount of pressure and urgency. Because even if I'm cynical, Arteta's the last man I'm blaming, but you always hear they've got complete confidence in him. We're planning for summer 2021. Maybe if there was more pressure and there was more of that, yo, if I'm not doing my job, there's question marks and I could lose my job. You know, if there was more of that, maybe we would see a more of a DNA. Maybe we would get more specific answers. Maybe there would be certain things, you know. The owner would have given money to Edu and that so they can see what they're doing. Or Edu and that might have a bit more urgency. There's no urgency at this club, so there's complacency. So when you got an owner like that, and not that I'm the guy that's always going to cry about bringing, you know, ex retired players back, but when you've got no one who you can immediately see and what's a visual representation of the high standards of Arsenal, you can see the nonsense. You can see the nonsense, really and truly. You know, I'm looking at Saka. Saka gets it more than a 32-year-old Willian or Bellerin who's been here for how long, you know. It's an air of complacency. It's comfortable, you know. I don't mind, players should be comfortable in their positions, but you should have a sense of urgency. And I don't think we have that, people. So I'm not too sure. And it's firmly on Arteta to try and help us in that regards of changing things, man. Moderators, please get rid of the spammers, people. I've done it. Please get rid of that. Okay. Not that I want to harp on about this guy, but this guy DM'd me and said I was a real one. So, I mean, if that gets him views, fair play. But, I mean, I don't control any transfers at Arsenal. I don't control who's brought in or who goes away. You know, I'm very, if a YouTube channel or a YouTube or some YouTubers can change football clubs or whatnot, then it is what it is. But if he has said that, credit to him. I understand he needs to get his clicks, and I get it. Fair play to him and wearing a mop and all of these sort of things. Shout out to him. He's got his free promo, but less of that nonsense, people. And moving back on, you said, on the reasons for our Premier League form, apologies, on Eddie Nketiah, apologies, being our top goal scorer, he said, we decided to keep Eddie at the club and not send him on loan. The main reason was we saw his hunger and his ability to score goals consistently. Not too sure you could say he scored goals consistently since he's been in the first team, but you said he's been doing that since he's been in the first team. He's performing very well. And he then spoke about Dundalk. And I think people are writing off Eddie Nketiah too tough, too quickly. Don't think he's going to be a world beater. Don't think he's going to be amazing. But I do think he's going to be a decent player. And he could make profit for us, or he could be part of the squad. So let's keep calm. I do think Balogun is the better one. But yeah, he also said on Burnley's recent record against us, giving us confidence and again, air of complacency. The confidence is that the team has to perform and they have the mindset to go and win the game. We know the urgency. We have to get results and stats. In my opinion, in this moment, are not very relevant. He was then asked on the threat Burnley potentially posed to Arsenal, and this is one thing I get at the players, because this is one thing I'm getting. I get at the players, because one luxury I think Arteta does is, I genuinely, for all the things I criticize about Arteta, I genuinely think he prepares them well. He gives them all the information. And typically when I'm doing these previews with you and talking about stuff, I keep seeing him blatantly talk about it, like the threats that these team poses, like he said against Wolves, like he said against Burnley, etc., etc. You know, and I think he said it again. He said they are a really organized team. They are a constant threat because they are really direct, but they play that game really, really well. They manage their first, second, and third phases really well. The way they attack the box. And again, if they are direct, make sure you're not there on the counter, because all it takes is one ball over the top. Make sure there's no gaps like there was against Spurs. And like he said, the first, third, and second phases, you know, they press from the front well, or their one striker will, and then the rest will hold spots and whatnot. So it is what it is. You know, and he also said they are difficult to break down because they've been working together with the same manager for a long time and they know each other really well. They are disciplined and they have a really good spirit and character among them. They're always ready to fight and make it difficult for you. And that's facts, you know, that's facts. What more can you say from that? He was then asked on what he wants to see from his players that he hasn't seen in past games. And this is something, again, on the training ground, he needs to fix up. He said, obviously, creativity is linked to the chances that you're able to create in different positions around the box or the final third. We are working in different aspects that we have to improve, certainly. The profile of player depends on where they play as well, and that brings you one thing or another. Depending on how they play, we'll try to expose certain areas. We know they might change it. And to be fair, you know, with the form they've been in, with what everybody expects from Sean Dyche and Burnley's men, maybe it would be smart to change things up, you know. How much they can change things up with their personnel and in the time limit, I'm not too sure. But at the same time, you know, they might. But it's down to Arteta. You need to play players that have a point to prove and want to be creative. You also need to coach. I hope you spent all week talking about phases of play. You've spoken about crosses. Like I said earlier in this live stream, if we're going to cross the ball, I might not condone it, but make sure we're getting into areas where somebody's on the end of it. There's no point putting a letter in the post box if you don't have a destination. It's just a wasted letter, you know. Go and make sure there's options. Go and make sure there's phases of play. And for the players, psychologically be switched on. Because as much as I feel coaching is a DNA of the manager and the team is a fabric of the manager, sometimes I see you lot want to play, you know, second half, Europa League, especially second half against Sheffield United. You know, all he did was put Willian in the 10 and change a couple other things. Immediately, these same players that were woeful in the first half are playing 2 touch, 1 touch. There's movement around and stuff. So for me, that tells me the mentality isn't there from the start, people. That's what that tells me. You know, we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang can get back to scoring, people, because he has scored more Premier League goals against Burnley than he has against any other side. He's got 7 in 5 games. Hopefully, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang can get back to goal-scoring ways. I forgot to take him out of my FPL team, so this is truly your last week to fix up. And apparently, in the Premier League, only against Portsmouth have we played more games without ever losing than we have against Burnley at 12. And again, records are there to be broken. We've also won each of our last 9 home meetings with Burnley in all competitions. As I stated earlier, we only have a better such run against Stoke, who we don't like much, and also Barnsley. Also as well, only Claudio Ranieri has managed more Premier League games against us without winning than Sean Dyche. He's lost 9, drawn 1 in his 10. And again, things are there to be broken. Ashley Barnes, again, another one, was speaking about Wood. Ashley Barnes is another one that can present problems to us. And again, he might have the bit between his teeth, because Ashley Barnes has ended on the losing side in all 7 Premier League games he has played against us, people. So again, there's something we need to worry about. Sean Dyche, as you lot know, he's renowned as a back to basics manager, no nonsense. And if you look at it, Burnley's pass completion rate of 73% is the lowest in the division, and they've won 23 aerial duels per game, the most in the division. So what does that tell you? They're not going to come here and try pass us off the park. They're going to exploit what they're good at. They're going to try and I told you that they would sit here, they would remain penned in, but they're going to try and beat us in the air, naturally. It doesn't make sense. So make sure you're there for aerial situations. That's probably why I understand David Luiz potentially starting. He's good in the air, and we're already losing in terms of a height advantage. So it's an area we need to look at. Obviously, Jade Rodriguez, he played on the right-hand side against Manchester City. So that might be something to think about, people. That might be something to think about. In relation to team news, Goodmunson misses out. Brady could be a doubt. Bardsley could be a doubt. Jack Court could be a doubt. And Stevens could be a doubt for Burnley. Again, they could all play. As you lot know, Pepe can play no part. Apparently Reece Nelson's a doubt. He's still got a knock or whatever is plaguing him. David Luiz, it's touch and go. Kolasinac the same. We all know Partey is going to play no part. And, Martinelli is just stepping up his recovery from injury. So it's a myth. On Aubameyang, and also once again, he scored more goals against Burnley than anyone else. Hopefully he does his thing. He said, I see how he's training and how he's behaving, how much he wants to turn this situation around. When I see that type of hunger, it's about supporting the player. So hopefully we get back to winning ways, people. Like Arteta said, it's vital for us. We can't afford anything other than that, people. And like he also said, and interesting for me, he said the team has to perform and they have to have the mindset to go and win. And again, that's down for the manager to transmit that to his players. But the players, like I said, there's only so much water Arteta can give you. You need to drink it. And he also said, we know the urgency we have to get results, and stats, in my opinion, in this moment are not really relevant. So maybe he's trying to breed calm, but we'll have to see, man. Crucially for me, he said they're disciplined and they have a good spirit and character among them. They are always ready to fight and make it difficult for you. Are the players truly heeding this advice? Are they truly taking this in? Because we know they're organized. We know they're good at set pieces. We know they've got fight. We know they've got their blueprint with Sean Dyche. We know they're trying to come and present issues. So again, we know all of this. Are we prepared? And tomorrow is going to be another one of those games. Not that anything changes because of where we are, but we're the last to play. So we immediately know the ramifications of winning, losing, and drawing. And more often than not, we've choked in that regards, and we've not got something positive out of the game, people. So that's something to consider. They do have some very good street smart players. McNeil can present issues on the cross. Brady and Barnes, very street smart. Wood is an issue in aerial threats, as is Barnes, as you said, real street smart baller. They've got problems to present us, And if I was Burnley as well, stick to what you're good at. Like, they're not going to come here and try pass us off the park, but, they're probably going to, if I'm them players, I'd feel a bit offended saying, you're making out that we're rugby, man. I'm going to come here and try play some ball. So let's be careful. And to be fair, we have made some poor players look very good at the Emirates this season. So we'll have to see what's said, man. We'll have to see, man. You mean Aziz? Yeah, I think it's all timing, but again, we have to take our time with these young G's. I think Aziz could make it in this Arsenal team without a doubt. Balogun reminds me of Adebayo. I'm not too sure of that, my guy, but you're allowed that. I understand based on all the other strikers, Balogun could probably hardly do any worse, but I want him on the bench, getting little minutes here and there. I think we need to take our time with the young man. I think we need to be careful. No, and that's what I mean. I don't think he should start, but he should definitely be involved in the first team picture. A little 20 minutes here. You get your little 20 and your little 10s and all of these things. And then eventually a couple games from now, yeah, fuck it. Say F it. Now you get your start. But, you know how football fans are. I'm pretty sure you've seen it with Troy Parrott. Man, cry for these young players to play. Not saying anyone in the comments. And then they bash them. People were begging for Callum Hudson-Odoi to play. Now they've turned their back on him, Chelsea, the football club, was begging him to sign a new deal and whatnot and saying he'd play. He's not playing too tough. So we need to, and also he needs to develop. We need to be careful with players. Like I said, I think we're too rushed in football. We're too quick to want to say something about people, but it is what it is. Looking tired, DG. This is what the videos in the trap will do to you, man. I'm trapping with these videos. We ain't got time for sleep. I wouldn't say I look tired. I definitely look more tired, but it is what it is, man. You know, it's just down to Arsenal to prove you right, then, in that regards, people, really and truly. You got your honey and ginger, GG. I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Yeah, of course I have, man. In this current climate, of course. Gonna go and have some after. That's probably why I'm done. I have my green tea and honey as well. You know, I always like that. I don't like to do live streams without that, to be fair with you. So I guess the only thing left to do is the lineup, people. Now, for me, do we go with a 4 at the back or not? I'm not too sure. I would probably line up with a back 5, just because I hear it, Burnley are going to sit back, but I'm just very wary on us on the counter. And I just think if we could get one more centre half in there, in theory, that's one more sort of player that could be in our box from aerial situations. So I would probably go with a back 3. Leno in goal, obviously. Not that Renison can challenge him, but I'd say Renison, man is almost about to say Renison. Leno in goal for me, people, off the top of my head. I'm trying to do this. I need to write it down. Leno in goal, back 3. Obviously, Gabriel picks himself. If David Luiz is fit, David Luiz. You know what? Let's throw Pablo Mari in there, Let's throw Pablo Mari. It's not like Burnley have the quickest. Let's go with Mari on the left-hand side. I think with that being said, Mari would have to go on the left of a back 3. You'd have to have Gabriel in the middle. David Luiz peel over to the right-hand side for me. Sorry, what have you said? It's all about the mentality. You can play anything. I'm thinking about the defensive era. I can see a lot of gaps already, and I don't think you can look at Arsenal's current form and say we're going to beat anybody comfortably, although I hope you're right. As I said, back 3, David Luiz, Gabriel in the middle, Pablo Mari. Let's, just give him a chance on the left-hand side. Right back, I would like to go with Maitland-Niles, but I'm going to go with Cedric. I feel, let's see what Cedric's about. I don't think Cedric is amazing. I do think his crossing is hot and cold, but Bellerin's not taking his chances. Cedric hasn't been given any. Let's see if he can get in a little run of form or something. So Cedric goes at right back. Obviously, the man himself, Kieran Tierney, picks himself. Midfield, probably gonna go with Finger. In fact, that's a shout, Wayne. You're right. Put Gabriel to the left-hand side, put Marie inside in the middle. Good shout. So yeah, let's change that. In the middle, El Nene starts for me. We need a bit of dynamism. I wouldn't mind Maitland-Niles, but and it's not like Ceballos has been playing better than him, but I'd probably lean towards Ceballos. So that's the two centre mids. The front 3, Reece Nelson will get a look in for me on the left-hand side. Aubameyang will go through the middle, and I'll go with Saka on the left. Although saying that, I do think Maitland-Niles and Lacazette off of my own team sheet probably a bit harsh, pardon me, to miss out. If we're going with a back 4, like a 4-2-3-1, then not too much changes for me. I'm going with, what's his name, Leno in goal, obviously. Right back for me, I'll go with Marie. Left back, I'm going with Tierney. Centre halves, Gabriel and David Luiz, if fit in relation to Luiz. Midfield, I would go again was with El Nene, Ceballos, and then I've got an option to make, because I would either throw Smith Rowe in there or go with Maitland-Niles and go with three sort of builders in the middle. Do you get it? So I would probably say El Nene, Ceballos, Smith Rowe in the 10 position, people. Either side of the 10s, which would be Smith Rowe. I'd go with Saka and Nelson and Aubameyang through the middle. But like I said, I could understand if he moved Aubameyang to the left-hand side in this game just to accommodate Lacazette, because I think Lacazette's been in decent form, and I do think Lacazette is it'd be upset. He has every right, to be upset. Upset to not start, because he's been playing all right, especially when man are just playing poor. So that would be my lineup, people. I would like to see a couple of the young players play. I don't want a bunch of kids to play, of course, but yeah, man. It's not going to happen, so it's not a thing. But what could I do? You just have to assess why you got relegated and move forward. Bro, I hear that. I agree. You can't have a bunch of kids over 38 games. But these experienced players aren't doing anything. And is it looking like we're going to get top 6 at least to these other experienced players wake their heads up? I want to see more players get a look in. And to be fair, to some degree, you kind of have to discount age and just look at what we're seeing, man. And that's it. At this point, I don't think anybody can be shocked, because we can only comment on what we see. I'm never here to just be ridiculously negative and the rest of these things. But Arsenal have to show us something, man. And like Toby said, at this point, hope is going to kill us. It's down to the boys to show us. It's down to the players. It's down to the players, man. You know, that's good for Newcastle. That's certified for Newcastle. You know, Aubameyang's form, you know, he can't justify not being dropped. But my thing is, you're going to drop Aubameyang. Not that he's scoring. What's the plan? You know, because if you start Balogun scores a hat-trick, I'll say, all right, say nothing. Or you start Lacazette and he scores a hat-trick, I'll say, all right, cool. But you're at this point now, there ain't. It's not like a City thing where if Aguero's not doing his job, you can then go and throw what's his name? Gabriel. What's his name, man? Gabriel Jesus. I forgot his last name. I was about to call him Silver, but you get it. So yeah, we'll have to see. Thank you very much for becoming a member, my guy. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I don't trust going with a back four as well. I want to make the transition to a back four, but I just feel we haven't had the run of games to suggest it. And based on what I'm seeing on the football field, it doesn't seem like we're improving anything. So let's just forget all this attacking stuff. Just do what we can in it, sort of thing. Big up yourself for becoming a member, my guy. It really means a lot, bro. I don't know why I was gonna call him Gabriel Silva, bro. I don't know why. You know when you can see a man's face, and I don't know why Silva was coming there. Like I don't know why I was thinking Silva, but it is what it is, man. Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. Big up all the members as well. Aiden, big up yourself for being a Spurs fan and locking in, man. I know Arsenal and Spurs fans, we banter each other, but clearly you like football. You like to give or take, and after a while you like football. And I think the lineup you've gone with is probably spot on, people. Really and truly. I wouldn't mind Holding playing again, but I mean, I don't think everybody needs a loan. I don't think these experienced players are going to turn it around. But I think in the immediate future, you've got to allow some of them an opportunity. You can't sign anyone in January. You know, are we even going to sign the experienced players that could turn it around, my guy? I don't know. What do I make of that game today? Who knows, man? Because I don't think you can write off Man United. You know, they seem to play well under Ollie in bigger games because, you know, that whole "we're United" chat that doesn't work when you're playing Southampton away and things like that seems to heed the message with City. And to be fair, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know if you're an Arsenal fan or United fan or whatever, but I'm sure ain't Ollie won the last 2 or 3 against them. You know, so Ollie's got a good record. They're there to be broken. City can't afford to drop points. I don't think you can. I'm going to go with a City 2-1 win. I do think it's going to be closer than many people suggest. I don't think you can write off United. I think United might even win as well. It's a good game for the neutrals. But that's it in regards to that, man. I don't have anything more to say, man. Couple questions, people. I'm going to keep it moving, man. It's afternoon time. I want to watch the football and that. I'm sure you guys do as well. Big up everybody locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Please also make sure you've hit the, you know, you're checking out the pinned message. As I told you, the next live watch along is landing soon. You know, make sure you're across all of that. You know, make sure you're at the watch along for the game tomorrow. And like idiot, I've tried to get you lot. I've tried to copy and paste something for you lot, and I've messed up my thing. But I'm here again. Apologies, people. I'm just trying to get the link for you lot. Is it in the? Someone tell me, is it in the pinned message? Because normally it shows me based on because I'm in YouTube live as well. For those who don't know, I'm obviously on StreamYard, but I watch the live stream and the health and whatnot via the YouTube live. So, and normally it shows me the pin tweet. It's not showing me the pin tweet. I love to imagine it is. I hope there is a pin tweet. If not, I'm about to give you the thing. Make sure you're also subscribed on Twitch as well, people. Make sure you're subscribed on Twitch. Also, I'm looking at already. Big up Johnny Bravo 160. He's dropped a like early doors. I see 6 likes on it. So I really appreciate you guys for doing that. Please get that up, man. I saw 14 likes before I started on this one. So it was crazy, man. So please make sure you check out this thing. You know, it's there for you guys. Thank you very much to Reek and the rest of you for telling me it's there. Big up another member. Been busy at work, but glad I was able to catch one live stream. You know, there's something for everyone, man. I'm streaming almost every day. You know, I try to do one in the morning, afternoon, and night, and look after all of you lot because you all got busy lives, and some of you are in different time zones and all of these sort of things. And so, what are you lot are saying? The game's dead. We say Wolves, the Midlands derby is dead. But it's easy for you lot to tell me that. I can't see it, man. I can't see it. You know, I see M saying it's dead as well. You know, you lot saying it's dead. I'm not missing nothing. I ain't missing nothing. They say, all right, cool. I made the right decision to kick it with you guys, man. I rate you lot. Please hit the like button. Smash it. Like you breathe oxygen. Big up Justin, man. They smash up the like button, people. It doesn't cost a thing. It doesn't cost a thing. Should we quickly type in Arsenal and see if there's anything to talk about of relevance on Google? The latest thing I heard is that Arsenal and Torreira trying to rip up the agreement in relation to his loan, and he's going to try arrive in January, and they're going to keep it moving. Apparently, you know, there's even more reports that Xhaka could leave the club. He could that Xhaka could leave the club. There's also talk of Saliba has no future under Arteta as exit looms. I'm not going to say the name of the paper, but that's clearly some extreme clickbait. Big up Darren Wells, the author, for chatting shit. Pardon my language. I'm trying to scroll down. Apparently, Arsenal chiefs have accepted there's no future for William Saliba at the club so long as Arteta is in charge. Considering he's 19 years of age, signed for 27 million in a climate where Arsenal do not have money and has not played a game. Although I am, like everyone, baffled with what's happening with him, I do think it's a bit, we need to calm it down a bit with that one, really. We need to calm it down. And I'm looking at it. Apparently, there's no actual offers on this. It's not saying he's leaving permanently. It just says that he's open to leaving again for free. And as you know, Arteta said, to be fair, he's made massive improvements in the last few months and has been in a really tricky situation. So again, I think we need to be careful with what sort of conclusions we draw in relation to Saliba, but it is what it is, man. Ha! Traore's in beef. See, I'm missing all of this for you guys. Big up you lot, man. I really appreciate you lot for locking in. Thoughts on Gwendouzi? Bro, I would have loved him at Arsenal. I understand if he got rubbed out because of the attitude thing, because like you've seen with Chesney, like you see in some incidences, it goes beyond ability. If he really was disruptive and stuff, I understand it, because like you can see today, when we think about Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, we're going to talk about tactics. This player's playing, that player's not playing. Why ain't this player in form, this formation? If I'm a manager, I don't have to deal with all of this and all the scrutiny and all the pressure, and then deal with if Guendouzi's doing nonsense in training and whatnot. It's one less headache. I ain't really got time for it. And I think it just shows a relationship that's just been strained. I think, he was given a chance, and I think there was just a straw that broke the camel's back along the line, really and truly. But I would like Guendouzi to return. I don't think he will return. I think considering he's got 1 year left on his deal from the end of the season, I think this loan is designed to get him out, put him in the shop window, and we'll make a little profit. And I do think he'll turn into a quality player, but it seems like his thingy's over here, people. I do like Marcus Llorente. He's a decent player. He's shown his versatility. I can't disagree with anything you're saying, Wayne. Hamid, we need to accept that one there is gone, bro. That one there is gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. I have a soft spot for Xhaka. I'm not heavy on the Xhaka slander. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he can be used in the squad. I just think the level of importance Xhaka has here and the squad status we've given him it's all what's wrong. It's all what's wrong. I don't think he's consistent enough. Don't think he's mobile. I think you can get away with him in the Europa League and several other games, but I don't agree with looking at Xhaka genuine as a starting quality player. He's not. He's been at this club for a couple of years. He's had good games. He's had good periods and bad, but we just haven't seen what he's about. We still don't know what he is. He's deep lying. He's described as box to box by his manager. He gets up there even though he can't get back. So yeah, man, he's got ability on the ball when you give him the best time all the time on the ball. And I mean, as a midfielder, you should be trained with doing things in less touches and less time. So yeah, man. Don't think there's anything more to say on that front. So I'm going to get out of here, people. I've enjoyed the preview with you guys. Please make sure you hit the like button, people. Please make sure you're there for the live watch along for tomorrow. It's been really interesting being with you for an hour and 16 minutes, but I'm going to keep it moving. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Before long, I'll be back again. If you're missing me, check out all my other content. I know there's probably a couple of videos you've missed. God bless, people. DG, I'm out. Like I said, please hit the like button on your way out.